Question 4 here, and this is about area and volume and trapezoidal rules, different stuff. So we're told about a rectangular garden, 50 by 30, and you've got a pond in here in the middle of it. So part A, find the area of the whole garden, so area of a rectangle. Well, the area of a rectangle is length by width, so that's 50 by 30, which is 1500, don't forget, Mars bars, donkeys, no, meters squared. You're talking about an area. Two-dimensional figure, that's where the 2 comes out of. 2D figure. 3D figure is volume, that's why it's cubed. And a one-dimensional thing is like a length or a width. That's just your centimeters to the power of 1. You never write down the 1. Moving on, the trapezoidal rule. So, trapezoidal rule here is given to you on page 12 of your log tables. It says real trapezoidal jack or whatever. So, you'll all remember that because we're brilliant at Irish. No, it's over here in English, trapezoidal rule. So, if you look at this figure here, lads, like y1 represents the first, yn represents the last, and twice the rest added up. I mean, the amount of people here yesterday, wait till I show you the mistake that people were making here in this question. So, the area of the irregular figure is h over 2, y1 plus yn plus twice the rest added up, so that's y2 plus y3 plus yn minus 1, and close your bracket then. So, in class, if you were in, few of you there missed a few classes, you would have learned that that was the first plus the last plus twice the rest added up. Well, I love just knowing the formula because it's much easier to apply the formula rather than just learning something off. But there's for those of you there. Look at it again. Y1 is the first, yn is the last, and then the rest of the stuff like there. And h is the width of the intervals. So each shape will be split into a number of intervals. And so, right, what have we got here? Well, we've got the first, or y1. The first looks to me on our diagram to be 0. And then the last looks to be 2. So that's yn, or the last, if you like, is going to be 2. And then the rest of them, you do not include the first and the last, and the rest 10, 14, 12, 10, 8. So, filling in, we get 3 over 2. That's what h is. H is our 3. We're told that it's split into intervals of 3 meters as well. The first is 0. The last is 2. Twice the rest added up. That's going to be our 10, 14, 12, 10 and 8. 10, 14, 12, 10 and 8. I couldn't believe it yesterday in the exam, lads. A lot of people did this. They got that far, 10, 14, 12, 10 and 8. You see it there, all in. And then they put in a minus 1. This means the last of the fellas that's not the last. So basically the 8 there is the last coming up. People putting in minus 1 there, I've been an absolute mudding mother. So, you can fire that straight into the calculator there now at this stage. And you'll end up with 165 meters squared. So if you're very competent at doing that, belt away. If you're very competent, if you're not, 3 over 2 is 1.5. 0 plus 2 is 2. Twice the rest added up here, that's going to be 54. Going again here, then you got 1.5, 2 plus 108. Yeah. Sorry, I left out something there. I don't know where I've done something wrong. 1.5, and you get 110. And 1.5 multiplied by 110 gives you 165 meters squared. Next part. Right. Suggest a way by which the trapezoidal rule could be used with different measurements to get a potentially more accurate estimate of the pond. So quite simply here, and I think I can write on this now, if you used more intervals, you will get a more accurate result. So for example there now, I've split that into, instead of 3 meters, 1.5 meters as my width. And if you knew all the heights in as well, but basically use more interval widths. Use more interval widths to make it more accurate. Do you know? Or divide it up more. I don't know what you say there. Divide it up more. Use more interval widths. Do you get me? So maybe make h equal 2 meters. Maybe make h equal 1 meter. I don't know. But split it up into more interval widths. Part D. Right. Apart from the pond. Now lads, a lot of people completely made a mess of this. Let's listen to it. Apart from the pond, the rest of the rectangular garden. The rest. We know the pond is 165. Or sorry, be careful. You're then told that the actual area of the pond is 172. So this pond in here, this part is 172. And you know the area of the rectangle is 1500 meters squared. So it says all of the grass in the garden. So the rest of it is the garden. If I got green there, look at this stuff out here. That's all the garden, all that green stuff. So if we find out first of all the area of the garden is going to be the area of the rectangle, which we found in part 1 to be 1500 meters squared, minus the area of the pond, which we're told up here is the actual area is 172. So the area of the garden now is I've got my notes here beside me, is 1328 meters squared. And we know then, so this now becomes a piece of cake. The cost is $2.55 per square meter. That's code for saying 1 meter squared is $2.55. Well, 2 meters squared multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, 3 meters squared multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. We want 1328 meters squared multiplied by 1328 multiplied by 1328, 255 multiplied by 1328, and you get 3,386.4 euro. You now have 9 out of 10. Because if you do not correct this to the nearest 10 euro, you will not get your 10 out of 10. So correcting it to the nearest 10 euro. So I look at the 10s here, which is the 80s, and then I look at the digit on the right, and if it's 5 or greater, I round up, and it is, so you end up with 3,390 spud there, and that's correct to the nearest 10 euro. Okay? That part. Moving on, part E. Some materials were imported from England by the gardener for resowing the grass. Cost of materials was $8.40. This included an import duty of 16.9%. My favourite question in maths. You've got your original 100% plus another 16.9%, giving you now giving you the overall value is 840 euro. So basically lads, 100% plus 16.9% is 116.9%. The import duty is included in that figure. Right, so if you got 16.9% of 840, you're wrong. It's already included in it. So basically, 116.9% is equal to 840. Find out what 1% is by dividing by 116.9. Do the same on the other side. That'll give you 1%. Do the same on the other side. 840. And so many people get caught by this question, finding 16.9% of it. It's already included. No percentage there. Already included. So 840 divided by 116.9, and we get some weird crazy figure. I'm just going to leave that in the tank. I'm just going to leave it like that, because 1200 over 167, because now I'm just going to go multiply this by 100 and multiply the other side by 100. So get my answer in the calculator. Oh God, watch. Answer multiplied by 100, and we'll now end up with 718 pounds So £718.5628 blah blah blah, which is correct to 2 decimal places. 718. Let's find the second decimal place, which is our 6. Look at the digit on the right. Is it 5 or greater? No, it's not. So 56. Last part there is, I have a really long question. I'm up to 10 minutes. No, I thought it was 18 for a second. Right, the gardener paid the £840 in euro. €1 is equal to that. And he also paid a fee of 2.5% on that. So look, straight away I'm going to convert anyway. So we know that €1 is equal to 0.8547. As I was telling you here, euro and then pounds. If you're going from euro to pounds, you multiply. We're not doing that. We're going to go from pounds to euro because we have to correct it to euro here. So I'm going to go from pounds to euro. We're going to divide by the 0.8547, whatever pounds value we have. Divide by that. So we have £840 divided by 0.8547, and that will give us this money in euro. So 840. I actually did this a different way from my American solution, so you can do it. I'll show you that in a second. 8547, and you get some crazy figure here. Now I leave this in the tank, as I call it in class. 8009, whatever it is. I just leave that in the tank. Leave it there. Don't go near it. Now what we've got to do is he also paid a fee of 2.5% of this figure, of this. So get 2.5% of this fella here, of the answer. So basically 2.5 over 100 multiplied by the answer. Some people go directly to the answer, that's fine too. So I go here now, and remember my answer is already in the tank, so I just go 2.5, that's 2.5 parts out of 100, multiplied by my answer. Press the answer on the calculator, the answer button there, or some of you have it in different places. Press equals, and we now get, weird thing I press SD, 24.5700. Yeah, it's going to be a bit weird here. So basically that's the commission, and we have to add that on to the piece that we already have there. So 982.8009, that should be okay, plus 24. Well, it's already in the tank. The tank there, just the answer. So we'll go here now, we'll say 982, can't see it that well, 0.8009 plus answer equals 1007.3709, correct to the nearest cent. 7 point. Find the last part of the cent here, digit on the right, so we'll end up getting 37. Now I told you I did it a different way in my American scheme. Here's my different way. So this one I converted straight away. Here I got 2.5% of the 840, which was €21, and then I added that on, I get 861. Then I converted my pounds to euro by dividing by 0.8547. Now this way looks much easier, right? Looks nicer, looks cleaner. It doesn't matter. You can do it either way, lads. You've got a choice. Finito.